Hey guys, Johnny Good here for Real Home Studio. Today, taking a look at gain staging when we're using MIDI and virtual guitar amp sims. And just before we dive straight in, I want to remind you guys, please to like and subscribe, and if you've got something to say, please do drop it in the comments box below. Okay, so here we are with this very straightforward track. I've got some MIDI drums using Addictive Drums 2. I've got some MIDI bass using Ample Sound P bass. And I've got 4 tracks of electric guitar, and they're all going through BX Rock Rack guitar amp sim. They're all being bussed out to a separate guitar bus. For the gain staging, I'm using Klanghelm VU-MT VU meter, and that's calibrated to -18 dB VU. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Now, if everything was just recorded straight down and we just had our audio files, I think pretty much universally in every DAW, we could just grab the top of the file and we can adjust the clip gain really nice and easily when gain staging. But of course, when we've got MIDI information which we just simply can't do. Now, one thing we could do would be to just select the whole track, and we could bounce it down to an audio track, and then we could adjust it that way. But if you want to keep things more flexible and you want to keep that MIDI instrument open for any reason, then what you're going to need to do is reach for, well, in Studio One it's called Mix Tool. But there's going to be a similar plugin in all DAWs. It's very light and it just allows you to adjust the gain. And what we want to do is put our VU meter on our mix bus, and we just want to solo out, to start things out, our drums, and just take a listen to what's going on. So we can see on our VU meter we want to see that needle around the 0. And actually that's fine, we've got no problems there. When I'm gain staging, it's a really quick and simple process. I'm not going to be fussing about is it exactly, you know, the energy hitting around the 0. We just want to see it hitting around the ballpark. So that's absolutely fine. I don't need to make any changes there. I'm going to remove that one, and we're going to move on to the bass. Now already you can see that the bass is going in a bit too hot. And again, we were dealing with MIDI information, so we can't adjust the clip gain here on the track. So we've dropped Mix Tool in here. And what we're going to do is just dial the gain down until we see that needle coming down, so the energy's somewhere around the 0. So that's all good. So say it's a quick job, it's not an exact science. So we've got our 2 MIDI tracks done. Now we've got our guitars recorded here. Now, when we're gain staging with the guitars, what you've got to remember is you don't want to be adjusting the clip gain on the recorded guitar here. Let's just solo that out without the amp sim on. Now, when we're recording guitar, I was hit for about -12 dB for the peaks, so you can see that's where I've recorded it. Now, if I start playing around with the gain structure here, that's going to affect the gain signal going into the guitar amp, and that's going to start to fall apart, mess up the sound which you know, I dialed in when I was tracking the guitar in the first place. So you don't want to do that. You only want to do that unless you really see an issue that it's, you know, slamming in really hot, for example. So that's going in totally fine. So what you want to do when you're gain staging is make sure that you place this kind of plugin after the amp sim, or indeed, you can print your sound. Once again, you could bounce your sound down and print it into your audio track and then adjust the clip gain. But if you want to keep this in the track, your amp sim, then what you need to do is make sure that you drop in a plugin like Mix Tool after your amp sim, so you're not playing around with the gain structure going into the amp sim. So all that said, I'm just playing the guitar, and you can see it's hitting about the perfect level, so that's all good. Let's remove that off. Now it's double tracked, so we can see both those tracks are hitting a really good safe level on the VU meter. Let's go down to the last 2 tracks, which are the higher octave versions of that same piece. And you can see that's hitting way into the red. So let's just grab Mix Tool. We're going to drop that arm. It's fine. Doesn't matter if it goes into the red a bit. That's absolutely no problem at all. Okay, so there's both of our tracks. They're all safely hitting around the 0. Now, there's one more thing that we need to do, and that's also drop Mix Tool onto our guitar bus. So let me just grab that here. Right, let's have a look at our guitar bus. Let's just bring our VU meter back. So you can see that's slamming in pretty hot. So we just want to bring our mix tool down. And that's really important, remember, when we're gain staging, because we're going to be putting plugins on this riff bus, analog style plugins, and we want the gain to be going in at that -18, and we want to be optimizing those plugins as much as we possibly can. Of course, the other thing we want to make sure is that we're not overloading the mix bus, so that's something we want to check too now that we've gain staged our tracks. Let's just take a listen and bring up the VU meter. You can see here I'm looking for peaks no higher than about -6 on my mix bus, and it's certainly going in a little bit too hot. So once again, I'm going to reach for mix tool and I'm going to just dial out a little bit of gain until I get that mix optimized. So that's at a nice safe level, and that's going to make sure that when I bring in my plugins onto the mix bus, once again, they're going at a level that's going to be optimal for those analog style plugins. Okay, so I hope you found that video really useful today. That was gain staging with the VU meter for Midi and when you're using guitar amp sims. Any questions at all, please do drop it in the comments box below. But most importantly, guys, have yourselves a great day.